so if I lose part of it, I want to hear what you have to say. Does that make sense?
Yep, I just started recording.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you said something. I'd have forgotten. So apparently I'm going to be teaching once a month now.
Good. We'll take all we can get.
Right. I have some good things in the works. I reached out to a friend of mine that was a realtor in Sweden. You have to go to college for like 6 years to be a realtor there. So I thought it'd be interesting if we could talk to her and ask her questions. So I'm waiting for her response. They may have some trick up their sleeve that we need or something. I don't know. If the phone rings, I do still have to take that. So if I mute myself and schedule a showing real quick, I promise I will be right back.
Hey, if I'm not talking, I'm listening, just so you know, okay?
I know you are.
Okay.
I'm excited for this quarantine to be lifted. There's like a few people on my list that I need to have dinner with.
I need to go have dinner somewhere.
Exactly. I'm like tired of not being able to host barbecues. We broke the smoker out a few weekends ago, and I'm like, hey, it's time.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, we'll give them another 2 or 3 minutes. I guess we'll implement Martin's rule of starting at 3 minutes after.
I know David Hallmeiser was going to be.
Okay.
So since we're waiting, let me just throw out a couple things to you,
Right.
since I know you have a list of things. But so you got me thinking about all this. And by the way, is my sound okay? Because I have my speaker on.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so someone told me it mutes sometimes. Okay, so Command is our central location for collecting all of our leads. So when we get into all this, ultimately our goal is going to be to funnel it all to that.
If your leads are, if what you're using, like the campaigns that you're using to do your lead generating is through Command, that's where they all go.
And so I know Facebook does. Is there going to be a way that we can get YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all of that, like when we put all these videos out here, to try to collect data and get it to Command?
That would be a question for Gerald. He sits in on IT, actually like whole regional IT stuff for Keller Williams in a meeting every single day. And part of that is what they're doing with Command. I know over the next 3 months, they will be releasing some really cool things, but they're not ready to go public with it yet. So from what it sounds like, it's going to be some really good stuff though. Just know that they are constantly updating that program, and your guys' thoughts and concerns about it are definitely being listened to and addressed. It's just there's a lot of coding and making things work the way that they should that goes into it. Destin, with that, I would email Gerald that that's something that you would like for it to do. That way he can bring it up to them in that meeting. Actually, he's right here. You want to say that again?
Hey, Gerald. So we're doing all these great things talking about how we're going to incorporate all this social media stuff. And so Command is our central location for collecting all those leads. And so we do Facebook campaigns and all of that gets pulled into Command. We're going to learn all this great stuff about how to use YouTube and how to use Instagram. Will we be able to pull all of that stuff where if they watch the videos and they do the Instagram, that we start pulling those leads into command as well.
That's something that I can go to the higher ups that I work with on the command stuff, and it's something that we can request in the future. I'm
Or in the store in your closet, please.
No, it doesn't do anything like that quite right now. So, but yeah, that's something that I can definitely ask about and kind of see what kind of response I get. It's obviously not a finished product yet, and they're always adding new things. So I think that that's something that would be critical as this YouTube stuff kind of becomes even more and more relevant. So
my thoughts here, I've just been writing this down, like mapping this out, and my thoughts are like, and I know everybody's going to do things differently, but my thoughts are to have like a central website. The websites have the links to YouTube and Facebook and other different things you're trying to get them out to. And then when they get there and they watch the video or they do whatever it is we're sending them to then from them, you know, we have to have that way to collect that data.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
'cause-
have that then pulled to command so that it's all pulled together.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to lead gen with YouTube. There's no real submit a message option in there. You can put like a link in the description and things like that, and that link can direct them to like a lead capture specific to YouTube or something like that. But I can kind of talk to them and see what they think about doing something like that in the future.
Yeah. I'll shoot you an email.
All right, it is 2:04, so I vote that we get started, and since I was voted leader of this meeting, I think we will.
Will you let me know my 2 o'clock is here?
Yes, I sure will. Okay, you guys heard it. If I have to pause for a minute, it's because Gerald's 2 o'clock is here. So I'm going to share the roughly 3 pages of notes that I have for this meeting with all of you. I will probably share that through both private Facebook pages and email as well. So be looking for that. But I wanted to start with some general social media tips. My biggest thing, and if you follow Capture the Lake Photography, which is my company, if you follow that company at all and you're a realtor and you post anything about real estate, you're probably going to notice that I comment on it. I post on 30 different posts for each social media that I have every single day. Every day. And it keeps your brand in their mind a lot, because they're seeing you every single day. They think you're, you know, it starts to get them familiar with you. And please feel free to ask any questions along the way. This is not a, you have to be silent the whole time kind of deal. I don't run like that. The next thing that I want to make sure you guys know is to separate your personal profile from your professional profile, because things like political views do not need to be involved in your real estate business. Or, you know, I donate to a equestrian organization every month. My people don't need to know that I do that. So create a professional Facebook profile and a professional Instagram account. And just keep in mind, we all start from 0 followers. So it takes time to build it. This is not something that will happen overnight. And it's going to take a little while to do. Hello, Miss Carolyn.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I'm in the middle of a Zoom, so you are on camera.
Uh-oh.
Another thing that I wanted to make sure to mention was to commit to it. You have to commit to social media. It's not something that you can really just drop and then pick up as you feel. And if you do that, you're just not going to see the volume of results that you want. Are there any questions on that so far? No? Okay. We'll move on.
Hey, actually, I got a quick question for you. And I've asked you this before, but I'll throw it out to you because other people might be interested as well. So the way they make you do that is you have to have your Facebook business page, but it's still off of your personal page. And whenever you try to do the friending stuff, when people make requests for friends, I'd really prefer to have a lot of that done where it was separate, where you had friends on your business and friends on your personal, but it's not the way it works
When you do a personal page, they're not friends. It's just they're following you.
When you did on your business, you mean?
Yeah. Yep,
They're-
on a business page.
But the request, like you'll get a request in to your friend. You'll get it on your personal website as a friend request.
Okay, sorry about that, Dustin. Can you
So you
repeat
get
that?
you'll often get requests from colleagues that come to your personal. Do you then just turn around and send them invites to your business instead of necessarily having everybody joined as a friend on your personal?
You can do that. I don't know. I like to share some of my personal stuff, and then there's other things that I really don't like to share.
So then if you
So-
don't share, then are you doing groups and then adding people to groups?
That's a great way to avoid that problem. So you could do a private group that is just realtors that you want to have those personal relationships with, but that you don't necessarily want to see your personal posts. And one thing that you have to realize about social media is if you're going to do it at all, you pretty much lose all privacy. You just do. Facebook is one of the most invasive apps that you can have on your phone. It knows everything about you. It downloads your contact list. That's how it suggests friends, and it will talk to your friends' phones that are around you and say, okay, so-and-so's friends with this person. Well, maybe they know this person because their friend knows that person. That's how it comes up with those suggestions. So you're pretty much relinquishing all of your all of your privacy in that aspect. Are we good?
Yep, very good.
Okay. And Ashley, I know that you know a lot about this too, so please chime in. I know I'm totally putting you on the spot, and I'm enjoying every second of it, by the way. Feel free to do this to me one day. Another thing that you want to focus on is, we have a message. Another thing that we want to focus on is telling people who you are and what you like. Now, that doesn't mean you have to share your personal beliefs and things like that with them. Just every once in a while, throw something in that isn't about real estate. Like I don't know if you all follow me on Instagram or Facebook, but if you do, you will notice that I've recently changed the way that I do social media. I've recently gone from being extremely silent to incorporating the wonderful views from our house, and that I have a hummingbird feeder, and that I'm making bread, and that I have a yeast culture. Those are things about who I am that make me more personable, more approachable. You want to have that feel to you. That way, when they start to research you before they ever meet you, they're not afraid to approach you. They feel like they already know you. That's why social media accounts are so important. It's not so that they can go validate who you are, although that does play a key role in it. That isn't the sole purpose. It's so that they can find out who you are, what you're about, if they think that you're approachable. Give me just one moment. Sorry about that. Okay, so we left off with the I lied, tell people who you are and what you like. Okay, next thing is don't be afraid to be on video. I know we're all scared, but don't be scared. It's gonna be fine. Any thoughts on that? I know it scares everyone. I want to hear your thoughts about being on video. Nope, hate it. Dustin, you're gonna have to get over that. Your face is your brand. You're not afraid to meet them in person, right?
So I'll touch on this a little bit. I I always say the same thing to the agents. And then I went out and I was like, I'm going to do a little like what your videos should look like or sound like, the things that you should say. Yeah, it's a lot harder than you should just do it. Like I struggled a lot and it was I was very judgmental towards myself and everything. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. So you just got to do it. Cause I did it like 5 times and I was like, okay, that's good enough to send.
Right. So then I think that is a wonderful point, Ashley. So I should definitely have expanded on that. You don't have to post every video that you film to public. You can share them with maybe, like if I were doing it, I might share it with Marilyn Gilpin because we work very closely together and just be like, okay, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think was good and bad? Because you're going to have your own thoughts in there and about that. So instead of having that bad self-talk, and that is something that we all struggle with, I am sure. I know that I struggle very, very much so with bad self-talk. But instead of using those things against yourself, leverage the people around you. I know we're a family and we're 140 plus strong. So leverage the people around you and send me any video that you want me to look at and say, hey, this is my first time. What are some things that I did good? What are some things that you think I should work on? Is the branding all there? I know that I am 110% willing to help you with all of that. I'm sure that there are several other people in our community that are as well. Does that help? It's not going to be perfect at the same, like probably any time. Nothing that I have ever filmed has been perfect, and I have been making YouTube videos about soap making for a year. And in most of them, I don't even talk. Like, that's the crazy thing. Even in the soap making videos for Lake Ozarks Soap Company that I used to own, there would be times that you could see David and Gerald, my fiance and his best friend who lives with us, you could see them walk behind like the camera. You could see their feet moving or them bringing in groceries because I was making soap in our kitchen. And it's like a 4-hour long process. You can't just, tell everybody stay out the kitchen. So I totally get that it's not going to be perfect. And Laura, you would help to do a recording. Recordings are good. Live videos, I will tell you, I started doing live videos I think 6 weeks ago. They scare the living crap out of me. I totally get it. Scare me to death. And the first time I did a live video, no one showed up, and that was my worst fear, and I conquered my worst fear. I sat there and I still did all of the content that I wanted to do just to myself. And it was scary, and I thought I sounded stupid the entire time, but I got through it. And once that first one's under your belt, the second one, you're scared about other things in it. You just take a deep breath and you just got to take it one second at a time. And practice. I think people are watch. Yes, when it's perfect, when it's not perfect, it makes you more human and more approachable, which is how you want them to feel you are anyways. You want them to be welcome into your space when you greet them at the front door of the office, and you want them to feel like they already know you. Marina, that is a wonderful point. Perfect is boring. I completely agree. Okay, and most importantly about social media and about videos, you only have 3 seconds to grab your viewers' attention. So if you're doing a video, do something like this that gets all up in their face and grabs their attention for a minute. Marina, I am glad to see your bright and shining face. And these spoons should be making you a little bit more comfortable on video. Just a little.
Whatever.
So my next thing, I wanted to dive a little bit into the Instagram algorithm. And again, I know some of you have joined us after we started, and no judgment, I promise, but I did want to let everyone know I have 3 pages of notes that I will be sharing through the Facebook pages and through email, so that you don't have to memorize every little thing that I'm saying. So we're going to dive into the Instagram algorithm, and I wanted to dive into how to get engagement on your posts specifically. So you need to be sharing relatable content that others will want to share on their own accounts. Instagram recently took an update a lot, and this kind of pertains to Facebook as well because they're owned by this. I mean, Instagram is Facebook. Basically, it's just structured a little bit differently to appeal to a younger generation. And if you haven't started a TikTok, you need to, because that is the social media platform designed for two generations, like younger. So Facebook's like, you know, our generation, you know, I think I'm 27 this year if I did the math right. So, you know, my generation is the Facebook generation. We grew up while Facebook was kind of becoming a thing. And then my sister's generation, my sister's 10 years younger than me. I'm gonna make you do a TikTok,
Elise,
actually. Yeah.
isn't there, I've read a lot of concerns about security issues with TikTok. Do you know anything about that?
There are some security concerns, but if you're going for trying to obtain followers and getting that market that you want to hit in the future, you really need to utilize it. Maybe put it on a device that you don't use all the time. Like I don't use my iPad except for to FaceTime my family because they won't buy products that aren't Apple. So I have to have an Apple device to video call with my 8-year-old brother, and I have obtained one, but I don't use it for anything other than that. So if I were going to have TikTok, I would put it on that. And TikTok is not just dancing. You can do lots more than dancing. And we can dive into TikTok next time. I didn't do any content on that today just because I thought it might be overwhelming to do much more than what we're doing. So that's my bad for getting off track, but we're going to go back to the Instagram algorithm. Shareable content. You want to make sure that content can communicate independently, because when people share it, people aren't necessarily going to know that you're a real estate agent. If your friend from high school that they know but they don't know you shares your content, they need to be able to say, hey, this is Rachel McDonald and she's an agent in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. Rachel, I don't know if you're an agent here or not. I think you're an agent for Lake Ozark, but if you're Jeff City, then they would need to know that you're Jeff City. Also, it needs to have a message and its own identity. Don't just post a picture of the sunset and be like, okay, no words, just beautiful sunset, because they're not going to know why that's relevant or where it's at. Even make sure that you're location tagging everything, so that if someone goes into the search options and says Lake Ozark, Missouri, then it brings up your content as well, just because you location tagged it. And that goes for YouTube and Facebook as well, not just Instagram. Any questions so far? No? Okay, we're gonna keep going here. Create linkable content. And by linkable, oh, Ashley raised her hand. What you got, Ashley? Kate, what is the #1 app?
I did not mean to do that.
Okay, good. We'll go to Kate then. Kate Coffin asked, what is the #1 app we should use? Is it Facebook? I feel like there's only so much one human can do in a day. I agree with that thought. Having to handle 3 or more social media accounts is overwhelming, alongside with being a full-time agent. I can completely see how that is overwhelming. And I would use Instagram, because Instagram allows you to share whatever you're posting to Facebook. So then you can knock out 2 social media accounts for all 3 that you're managing as you're posting. That's what I do with my business, Lanai, and my personal account. Okay. Linkable content. I don't mean that in the wording to the post it needs to have a link. that will actually cause your post to be buried. So put it as the first comment after your actual post. That way it doesn't try that way the algorithms don't try to bury your content, because they won't view that as your post trying to link to outside websites. They make money off of how much time their users spend inside the apps. So anything that links outside of it, they try to bury, because that means they don't make money. Don't stage your content. People know when you're lying. They know when it's staged and fake, and they don't want a fake version of you. That's why making mistakes is okay to show on film.
So can you follow up more on that linkable? How does that look?
Let's. Oh, there's a screen sharing option, but I don't know where it is. Are all of you on the private social media group that I created yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Great. I will put a screenshot in there of what the linkable content looks like, because I cannot find the share screen video.
Great, that'll work. But it should be down in the bar at the bottom in the middle right.
Oh, there it is. It's the green one. Found it.
And then shared desktop. Mm-hmm.
There we go. I'm glad you guys know how to work this program. Okay. Any of you that know me or don't, you probably have noticed that my home office is covered in horses. Fallon Taylor is one of my favorite barrel racers, and she has some beautiful content, but we're actually going to go to her company, Ranch Dressing. Okay, this is her clothing company. Now, she does link in it, but if she were following the things that she teaches us in the small business, link in bio. That is on Instagram when they put a link in their biography on their Instagram account. But you can also, so say I posted this picture, the first comment would have a link right here. That way it didn't redirect outside of Facebook. You gotta play nice with the algorithms, and I know that's easier said than done. Let's see, who else probably, Nike's probably big enough that they don't have to worry about that.
So you'd link to your website or something?
Yeah, or wherever your listing's at, you could link it there. With videos, I have mixed feelings about linking to outside videos. Part of me says that's great, we should all link, to our YouTube videos. Another part of me says let's upload individually to each social media platform, because what Facebook and Instagram are attempting to do right now is they are trying to build platforms that compete directly with YouTube. So I have mixed emotions about it because of that. Okay, if someone wants to invite Rachel McDonald to the Facebook, that would be great. If not, I will do that in a minute when we're done. Any questions on Instagram in particular?
Well, I would just say back to your comment there about uploading it to individually to Facebook and Instagram, you're going to have probably more of the lead capture through them than you are through the YouTube, as we were discussing earlier. So that might be
It depends. It depends. It really just depends on where your followings are at. I have 34 followers on YouTube that I don't know these people, so they're not following me on Facebook. That's an opportunity where, you're potentially lead genning with people out of area, which is a very important aspect. So I wouldn't say leave any of those things, any of those platforms out if you're doing video. but I get that you know, you only have so much time and you need to kind of pick and choose where you do things when. So maybe not every single video goes into YouTube, but some of them do, just to keep content flowing in there, and vice versa with other social media platforms. What we're seeing right now is Pinterest making a huge comeback. I thought Pinterest was like dead, and I took a look at it the other day, and they've completely changed their platform. It's very, it's a lot easier to use than it used to be, and you know, we're going to see that platform make a little bit of a comeback. And you know, how does that play into all of these other things? So it's definitely, I mean, I know you can't be on every single platform, but I would definitely try to do Instagram and Facebook at the very least, just because you can post to both for free at the same time. Ripple, I tried to use Ripple because I hadn't before, but they didn't have a free version of it. You had to pay to use it, period. Hootsuite will let you add 3 accounts. So if you're posting to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, you can post to all 3 of those and schedule it out all through Hootsuite. If you pay for Hootsuite, you can have, I think, like unlimited accounts. So you could add YouTube, whatever you want. I'm getting mixed up on social media types now. All right, so we're gonna dive a little bit more into Facebook, if everybody's ready to move on.
Okay, where are we going? Hi, we're back.
I muted myself. All right, Facebook. So Facebook is all about the user experience. Over 800% of users are more likely to watch videos through a watch party versus a solo video. So it's a good thing to do the watch parties. I know Sierra Grind recently was talking about the watch parties and how much success she is having on those. Now keep in mind, that is reliant on how many followers you already have when you start doing those. So if you're somebody like me who has, I think our new company, Capture the Lake Photography, has maybe 45 followers, we're probably not going to have all 45 followers on that watch party. Like, that would be amazing for a turnout to be 100%. You're probably looking at maybe 25%, and that's just a guesstimation. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done a lot of research on how much of your following will show up for the watch parties. Do you have questions on watch parties? Okay. And instead of, on Facebook, instead of asking things like, instead of asking for likes, shares, and followers, reword it in a way that asks for engagement of a different type, like comments down below. Ashley, I have also never done a watch party, so maybe that's something that, I don't know, maybe that's something we can come up with, a silly 2-minute video or something, and we can practice doing one. And that's a great way. It's just like scripting, you know, social media is so similar to scripting. You can practice it with anyone. Choose somebody that you really, really trust, that you know will not share your content if you're really afraid of being on video and things like that. That will help break the ice some. Again, just like how you should enter yourself in command as a dummy, as a test dummy, so that you know both sides of the communication. Do the same with your social media. Okay, so back to not asking for likes, shares, and followers. Instead, word it in a way that says, similar to which color of shirt do you like better, red or black? So we could do that with like random pictures of a kitchen. Say you listed a house a few months ago, it's sold, but you need some content on social media, and it had that particular house had a beautiful kitchen. Post the picture of that kitchen and say something along the lines of, you know, what color would you paint this? What are the things that you like in this kitchen? We would love to have this kitchen. How about you? Things like that. I know Kedra Phelps, she runs Peggy Albert's social media, and they do posts like that. I'm not even sure if those are properties that they've done or if they're just free pictures that are available through like Shutterfly, or I know they use Adobe Spark to make a lot of their social media posts, and Adobe Spark provides you with lots of pictures that they own the copyrights to that they allow you to use. So I'm sure that they are looking in there, finding a picture of a kitchen, putting it on social media and saying, we love this kitchen, how about you? And that's a way to boost your post, because the more interaction in the comments, the better. And it is hard to get people to interact. I'm really not sure why, but it just really is. And I think it's a lot of that not being face to face, because it's through the phone. It doesn't make you feel as personable. So that's where the sharing little tidbits of your personal life come into place. I did want to show you guys one thing, and I should have pulled this up previously. I apologize for not. Hey, Instagram remembers me. That's always nice when your computer remembers your information. Let's see. Now, Fallon is not currently utilizing this with her Instagram, but she did something a few months ago that I thought was wonderful. Ooh, we gotta dig down deep here. She posts probably 5 times a day, but she hires out for it. I don't know anyone that has the time to do this on their own. Okay, so here we see that she has kind of a story throughout her day. At this point in time, she was posting 3 times a day. She would start with a fun post, and then a quote, and then another fun picture post. And that's important because of the way that it displays when somebody clicks on her profile. When you scroll down, the middle row is all quotes and then pictures on either side, and it flows very, very, very well. And there's things that you can see her personality, but then you can also see just things that make her more approachable. You would never know that this woman has been a model. She owns 5 businesses. She probably has enough money to just like buy every $1 million lake house here, but you would never know it because she shows her true self. And like, I don't know, she's just, I'm a Uber fan, if you can't tell. So we touched on that. The next thing goes for the following goes for your, okay, so we're going to talk about Facebook videos. And we kind of already touched on this, but don't do the like, share, and followers. Facebook's algorithms listen to your videos. So they listen for you to say things like, make sure to comment below, and make sure that you follow us here, and things like that. And that will also cause them to bury your content. And they call that engagement bait. So make sure to not use engagement bait, because this is not phishing. We're looking for long-term followers that will turn into leads. That way, even if they're down here and say they came from multiple states away, but they had a friend that invited them to follow your page, which does happen. If I have, most of you will have noticed that I have probably invited all of my current friends on Facebook to follow your social medias. I do that to every single agent that I work with. So all of you Keller Williams agents, I am slowly making my way through all of your Facebook profiles, the professional ones. I'm not inviting them to your personal pages, but the professional pages, and inviting every single follower that I have to follow you on your social media, to help help build your businesses, because your businesses fund my paycheck, and that makes you guys the most important thing in my life, which is a bonus for you. Any thoughts? Marilyn, is there a time limit on a Facebook video? I tried one in an open house and it never would work. I am not sure. Were you doing a Facebook Live video? No, a recorded one. That's my thoughts. You may have to upload that to your computer first and then upload it to Facebook from there. You may have a data issue, or their mobile app may have just not been able to handle that at the time. Ashley, do you have more thoughts on that?
Well, I was going to type it out, but definitely agree with you. I think that if you're recording it and uploading it, it could be how you recorded it. How long is the video? Because, well, anyways, it could be like that it was just too long, but I've seen people post videos that are like 20 minutes and they're on there. It might take uploading it to a different program and compressing it, perhaps even. 5 minutes should have definitely loaded, no problem. I would try doing it from your computer if you haven't already.
I like that. Okay, so I have a Google Pixel, so not all of your phones will operate like mine does, but mine automatically syncs any pictures and videos that I take to my Google photo account, and then that gives me the ability to have that on every device that I have, because I can access my Google Photos on any device that I sign into Chrome on. And it does take some time to download it from there, but at the very least, I don't have to, find a USB and somehow manage to connect that to my phone, because there are devices that will do that, but it gets real complicated real fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about this. If you're going to use links, do not include them in the actual post. Put them in the first comment under the post that you're going to do. So you do that by completing the post and then finding it and commenting on it. And there is, I am glad I brought this up. Oh, no, I don't want to end the meeting. I lied. Okay, share screen. We are going to go to Facebook once again. Okay, so we're going to go to my pages and we're going to go to my business page. This is my personal company, and we're going to mess around on it for a little bit. See this little circle right here that has my logo in it? If you select that, you get a wonderful drop down that opens you up to your profile and every page that you have admin access to. So say I wanted to add a comment as, hold that thought, sorry guys. We are multitaskers like supreme around here, aren't we? All right, so say I wanted to make a comment as the company itself. We would make sure that this little circle has our logo in it, because that's our profile picture. And then we would do the comment. But if I wanted to post as me, I would have to change the profile using the drop down menu and select my account and then type something and comment on there. I've noticed that that's not something that is really doable on the mobile form. So if you manage a page and you're on the mobile app, but you're wanting to comment as yourself, you need to be very careful, because you may be actually commenting as the company.
Can you
Does
do
that
multiples?
do what?
Can you do multiples
Get
at one
multiple.
time?
Do what?
Can you post multiple locations at one time? You check multiples?
Like if you're commenting on something?
Yes.
No.
You post that to multiple pages at the same time.
Nope. You will have to do that manually for each one. So like when I just made that post as the company a second ago, or not the post, but when I made that comment as the company a second ago, yep, you'll have to copy and paste. So like that didn't show up on my Instagram post for that. That only showed up on the Facebook.
Actually, you can cross post as well. Whenever there's an option, once you get to the end, that says make available to other pages, and you can cross post certain posts. So keep
But
that in
not
mind.
a comment, right?
Not a comment. No, not a
Okay.
comment. Just the actual post.
Okay, so I know that several of you either manage Facebook accounts for our realtors, or you are the whole kit and caboodle. You're the realtor, you're the marketer, you're the listing coordinator, the closing coordinator, all of it. So I wanted to show you this wonderful spot on Facebook that is called Insights. My insights are not very good, but this company is less than 6 weeks old, so don't judge me too harshly. All right, so this is very informative statistics. You can find the age group that is looking at your posts. You can generally find their average locations, I believe. This is similar to the statistics that you get when you run a Facebook ad, but you get to learn a lot about your target market. I believe there's also a way to see what time of day in particular they are looking at your profile the most. I wasn't able to find that the other day, but see, you can see that I have 46 followers now. Oh, my chat went away. There we go. Okay, the copy and paste. All right, so you can see what happened when they got onto your page. You should also be able to see what they're viewing. Let's see here. The reach is what your posts reach, how many people see them, not necessarily how many people interact with them. Now you'll notice I do not post on this page as often as I should, but we specialize in listing photography, so house listing pictures. That is something that I don't have enough content to be posting about on a regular basis. So I'm hoping that as the floodgates kind of open and the state reopens, you know, we'll have enough content that I'll be able to post once or twice a week the way I'd really like to be able to. They say to post several times a day, but you can see growth when you don't do that. Go to sites from your homepage. Oh, okay. So Ashley says to go to the sites from your homepage, and it shows you all of the detailed insights. All right, we got 13 minutes. We're gonna hustle through this. Sorry, guys. I provided too much content for us, apparently. I will know for the future. So I wanted to touch base on a word about videos. Make sure that you incorporate subtitles. 80% of viewers do not actually listen to the video. They've got stuff going on around them, or they're watching while they're at work and can't have the sound on, so they're reading and watching. Or I know a lot of people take public transportation in other states, in areas where that's provided plentifully. My fiance lived in Oregon, and when he lived in Portland, he did not own a car. He owned a bicycle, and he mostly rode on public transit. So he listened to music constantly, or was watching videos and reading the subtitles when he forgot his headphones. So the estimated, like the best time length we're seeing here is between 30 seconds to 3 minutes long. Now, obviously, if you're hosting a virtual open house, that's probably going to be more than 3 minutes long. So there are definitely exceptions. This is just kind of the statistics that Facebook has said gets you the best amount of attention. Questions on videos for social media? Okay, and please remember my phone number is very public. It is 573-284-5789. Please feel free to text me. And if your questions are, in depth enough, we'll definitely add it to the content for the next video. I had some things that I didn't really think were common knowledge that I wanted to touch base on. Specifically, what in the world are hashtags? I know that we've all seen them out there, but what specifically is a hashtag? So I was able to obtain us a definition. Hashtags signify the theme of your content, and you use them to group the content of a common topic. So when you see things like my Instagram post from last night on my personal page, and you'll notice I've been knocking it out with the hashtags lately upon re-upping my research and seeing how important they've become. Please hold, I shall return. Scheduling another showing. Look at them apples. Should hashtags be in the comments or in the main posting? That is a great question. Main posting, main posting, main posting. Because they are clickable. And I learned something fancy last night, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to share this.
Are we
with
talking
you.
about Facebook here or what?
Specifically, I'm going to show you hashtags on Instagram, but they are clickable on Facebook as well. Oh, I went into the wrong section. So there's a way that you can turn this into the mobile site. So I'm not sure if this is going to do what it should, but let's scroll through here real quick. Okay, so you can see my friend Kelly has several hashtags here. They are all clickable, so let's click on trail ride. That basically turns into a search for trail ride. So any picture that has had the hashtag trail ride attached to it is going to show up. Now, something super important to note about this is that the ones that get the most engagement will show up at the top. Now, in the mobile version, there are two little sections basically here at the top. The first one is top posts. The second one in the mobile version is recent posts. So that's the one that you will be most likely to be found on, is the recent post, because as a recent post, you're not going to have a lot of engagement if you just posted it 3 minutes ago. And hashtags don't necessarily mean that you will for sure show up even. They just give you a better chance at it. It's clickable everywhere. Facebook, yes, 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 yes. Okay, so we learned that hashtags they group your content. So if I were to search Lake Ozark, anything that had a hashtag that said Lake Ozark on it as well, I believe would show up. How do you use them? Referring to, actually, we skipped a section. What do they do? When you click a hashtag, it takes you to a page that has content related to that topic, similar to a search results page, which I wasn't planning on sharing my screen for that, but I'm an overachiever and did. So we beat ourselves to that little piece of the curriculum. How do you use them? So in post and Instagram, you can have up to 30, that is correct, 30 hashtags, 30 hashtags on Instagram for a post. Now in Instagram stories, you can have either one highlighted one, or you can have 3 in your Instagram stories, which also shares to your Facebook story if you choose to allow it to do that. And
Hey,
on
Elise,
yes, ma'am.
if you're the person going into Instagram, where do you put this search for a hashtag? How would somebody do that?
In the search bar.
So up there, do you have to put a hashtag or just put barrel racing?
I don't think that you have to use hashtag. I think that it incorporates that, but it will be more accurate if you put that in
So
there.
somebody goes into Instagram, they go up in the search bar and they type real estate at Lake of the Ozarks. And then if you have that as your hashtag, you're more likely to come up.
Sure, let's
right?
do that.
Okay.
My computer's thinking. So it did bring up real estate Lake of the Ozarks for the hashtag. You'll see there's 8 posts. And then it started bringing up companies as well.
Okay.
And pages. So we may be searching too specifically. That, and this is formatted for mobile, but isn't. Well, I didn't really want her actual profile. I wanted the search page. Okay, their website is not made to be an actual website, so we'll have to fiddle with it on the mobile version, but it should bring up anything similar to it. You shouldn't have to include it, but if you do, then that is better. Oh yes, and you can follow a hashtag. I follow Horses of Instagram. I completely forgot about that, Ashley. I'm glad that you brought that up. So
can you show us quickly how to do that?
yeah. Oh gosh darn it. Ashley, you rock. Screenshots would be great. So Ashley's going to share some screenshots in the Facebook page. So we learned what hashtags do. We've learned how to use them. One last thing on how to use them is if you are uploading your videos to Instagram TV, which is Instagram's version of YouTube. Again, like I said, they're trying to become a YouTube competitor. So they're building their platform for Instagram TV to compete. You can have up to 30 hashtags on that video as well. Looms are my new favorite thing because you can just sit there and do a quick 3-minute one. And see, on those, that's a good thing. If you have things that you know how to do that you think would be useful, record a loom for us. And that can get you used to being on the camera because you can't really edit those. What is a loom? Ashley, I will send you a link, or you can just Google loom, and it's, I think, loom.com, but I don't want to send you in the wrong direction. So we can touch base after if you want. I have done 2 of them. If you If you watched my video on how to print labels from Realist Tax, that was done using Loom. And I did another one on how to download documents from Transaction Desk. That was done using Loom. So we covered hashtags. Will you always show up in the search engines using a specific hashtag? No, you will not. You will see content based on your personal preferences. So if Ashley and I are sitting next to each other and we do the same search, I don't know, say we searched luxury homes. The social media platforms are designed to show you things based on your personal preferences. So our search results are not going to be the same. And I actually have a video that I will share on the private Facebook group. I was planning on sharing it tomorrow, so look for that tomorrow, that goes a little bit more in depth about this. But because my personal preferences are different than Ashley's and Marina's and Laura's, they're going to show each of us different things. Now, there may be some things that are the same. Yes, be creative with your hashtags, but keep them smaller than 30 characters if at all possible. The more original, the better. You cannot copyright a hashtag. You cannot specifically like make that your property. So other people can use it, but that again links to your content. So it's kind of nice when other people decide to use your stuff. The video that I'm going to share, I think, references a PNG hashtag from a couple of years ago when they did the Olympics called Thanks Mom. You know, nobody branded Thanks Mom. Nobody owns that hashtag. I can make a post about my mom and say hashtag Thanks Mom. But if I click on it, it's going to bring up things about P&G's branding. It's a very intelligent thing. Hashtags, when they're used correctly, can really, really benefit you. Why use them? We kind of went over that, but if you're not using them, then you're not doing your online content justice because you're leaving it halfway done. It's like making a birthday cake and not putting the sprinkles or the icing on it. You can't do that. Anybody else have a good analogy for that? I just want cake right now, so that's. Sir, we're still live. I don't know what he said. 2 more things, bonus tips. We're at 3, so I'm going to go through the bonus tips real quick. Host a live Q&A on social media. These are uncertain times. It's a great opportunity to host a Q&A, and then you don't have to provide the content. It's a great way around providing the content.
Hey, everybody. Good job, Elise. Proud
Thanks,
of everybody
sir.
for diving into their social media.
We recorded this.
Good. We'll post it to the YouTube channel.
See, and you guys think you're scared of being on video. I made a fool of myself on this one. All right, so social media Q&A. It's a great way to not have to come up with content, but still provide some. Then you know what your clients are uncertain of, and you know how you can directly reach out to them and help them. It is a very much so understated resource. And if you invite me to a Q&A, I will happily always attend. So you know you have at least one person that will always be watching. My last and favorite tip is audit your resources. Make a list of the people in your life who can help you, and make sure that when you are ready to call on them, that you have nurtured those relationships, because you should be a resource to them as well. If you know, when people want to rely on you and they haven't provided things in your life that make them valuable to you, you're kind of more resistant to giving them that. So make sure that that goes both ways. Make sure that you are a resource to them and they can be a resource to you. And when you need it, definitely lean on the people around you. I know that I am new to the world of recruiting, and my mom's been doing it for like 30 years. So I made myself a little bit more valuable in her life and make sure that I comment on things more often, because I'm going to be leaning on her a lot to try to recruit for Keller Williams and learn the skills that I need, that are things that she utilizes every single day. So does anyone have questions before we wrap up? Good stuff. Thank you. You are all welcome. I do want to take a moment before we leave to thank all of you. I have definitely felt very welcomed by all of you. I know that I just kind of was thrown into Keller Williams world, and a lot of you haven't met me, but I appreciate you all trusting me and utilizing me as a resource for you. It is truly a pleasure to provide my knowledge to you, and I look forward to learning from all of you as well. Again, making that utilizing my resources and making myself a resource to you. It all plays into that.
All right, see you later.
You are very welcome. I will see all of you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have, or no, I lied. Friday. Friday we have a Zoom in the morning, so I will see all of you Friday. What's Martin usually say? Same bat time, same bat station. There we go.
Do you know why he
perfect.
says that, Elise?
What?
Do you know why he says
No.
that? It's from the old Batman show when I was a kid.
No, I didn't watch Batman.
Well,
I
I'm
was
just
too
telling
busy
you.
watching the Saddle Club.
Oh, we're talking way back, way back.
Believe it or not, I bet my 8-year-old brother knows that because he is big into Batman, has like every single book about Batman that you could ever imagine.
Might be.
Apparently, I need to leverage my relationship with my brother to get educated.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ashley. I'm
Bye.
so glad
Thank
you
you.
attended. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. How do I stop recording? End meeting.